Testing, testing. Let's see how this goes. We're going to look at some keyword transformations here. Let's wait until we get some people though. No people as of yet. Hey, we've got one person, or is that me? Is that just me looking at myself? Because I'm on two screens here, so I can't tell. Is anybody watching? Don't think they are. The idea is to look at some keyword transformations today. So I'm going to put them in the chat, right? Hello, Sarah. We've got some people. There's a little delay here, I've noticed. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a look at some keyword transformations. Okay. So I'm going to put the first one in the chat straight away. So keep an eye on this. And I'm going to put it up now on the chat. Have a look at this. And there we go. And the options are, this is not as easy as I thought it would be. Oh my God, that looks terrible. But hopefully you can tell what's going on. Hello, Francesca. Yeah, does that look okay? That comment doesn't look great. Hang on. I'm going to make it more obvious. So you can see the gap. And then I'm going to separate the possible answers here. It's not as easy as I'm trying to copy and paste. And then, oh my God, every time I press enter. Every time I press enter, this thing goes wrong. How do you do that? Oh my God, this is not as easy as I thought. Anyway, can you see that? So it says the old house was gap furnished and we had to buy almost everything new. So the possible answers are thinly, sparsely, mildly, rarely. I'm going to try and write that out again a bit better. Let's see. So we need to separate that. What word would you go for? So thinly, we need a separation there. Why wouldn't it let me separate? It won't let me edit anything. There we go. Hopefully you can see this one a little bit better. And Francesca's gone for mildly. What do you think? Do you think mildly is the correct answer? It was mildly furnished. When would we use the word mild? When would we use the adverb mildly? I don't know. Do we think it's mildly? I don't know. Let's get a few other opinions. There's only a couple of people watching at the moment. We need to get some more people on here. Anyway, mildly furnished. I don't think it's mildly. I don't think you say something is mildly furnished. We talk about something being mildly annoying. You might say that food is mildly seasoned. Mild is sort of seen as a contrast in flavor to something that's spicy, something that's hot, or, you know, so you'll often see in a curry house in England that a curry is described as spicy or mild, right? Mild weather, we can say. So I don't think it's mildly. What about thinly, sparsely, or rarely? What do you think? Was the house? Have a look at the comments. Have a look at the first word, keyword transformation question that we have here. The old house was thinly, sparsely, or rarely furnished. What do you think? Furnished means to have furniture in it. So we want to say that it didn't have a lot of furniture in it. And if you want to say that the furniture was lacking, that there was not a lot of furniture, what would you say? Would you say that that furniture is thin? I mean, would you describe it thin? So Amina said thin. Well, think about it. Would you say that furniture is thin? Right? Because we want to say that there isn't many. And Sada says rarely. Well, what would it mean if you said that furniture was rare? It would mean that it doesn't occur commonly, right? It's not common. It's actually sparsely. So we've said all of the possible options except the correct one. It is sparsely. Yeah, that's a word that perhaps you haven't heard before then. So sparsely furnished. Okay, when something is sparse, there's not a lot of it. It's scarce is another word. So you could say it is scarcely furnished. Let's have a go at another one then, I guess. Let's try another one here, and I'll see if I can write it out a bit better. So it says the main way into the building. The main way into the building. Let's have a look at that. Let's see if I can write this down. So there we have a gap. Sarah wrote sparsely. Right, okay. Okay, fair enough. I didn't see it in the comments though. Okay, so think about the words that we can put in here. Let's have a think about it. Let's have a think about possible words that you could put in here. And I've said this is keyword transformations. It's not. I've given this video the wrong title. It's not keyword transformations. This is the open close exercise. I need to change the title. I need to change the title. But this is what words could you put in there? The main way into the building is via the high street. There is also an at the back used for deliveries. So what is there at the back? What is there at the back? I'm going to show you the options, right? Let's have a look at the options. I don't know. Can you think of any possibilities? Exit. That's an interesting one. There is also an exit at the back. I mean, it could be an exit, I suppose. Entrance. I think an entrance might sound better. Yes, Ada. Because we're talking about a way into the building. So even though it might be an exit, maybe an entrance would be a bit more natural, right? I'll tell you though, none of these so far are the options that we have. So I'll show you the options that we have here. There are 4 possible options again. Why does it not let me do this? Right, let's see. And there we go. There are your 4 options. Access, way, passage, or direction. And someone's asking, how much time do I need to go from C1 to C2? I mean, are you at C1 level now? Have you passed the advanced exam? I mean, if you've passed the advanced exam recently, then I guess it's just a case of hard work. I mean, if you pass the C1 exam, that means you're pretty competent, no? Sada says access. There's also an access at the back, a way at the back, a passage at the back, a direction at the back. I think access would be right. I've got to be honest. I think I've seen this question before. I think I went for passage. Because in English, we do often talk about a back passage, right? But yeah, we're talking about how to get into somewhere. We're talking about how to get into this building, no? So I guess access would be the correct answer. Yeah, I'm going to go with access as well. Just because of the context. I mean, we do talk about a back passage. But yeah, I think an access in this case is the best option. Okay, let's take another look at another keyword transformation at an open close exercise. Let's take another one. Let's look at the third one here. So it says, I have been back to the doctor 3 times. Let's see. Hasn't. So we're going to leave a gap here. Right, there we go. Does English grammar get upgraded like English vocabulary does? That's a good question. What, does it get upgraded? Does it change? Does it evolve over time? Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm constantly talking to people in class about how things have become accepted over time. I don't know, for example, like have got. I mean, clearly have got is grammatically just wrong, or it would have been in the past, surely, because you think about what it means and where it's come from. Someone has clearly just used that expression so often to say, oh, I have got it, right? They have gone and got something and brought it back, and they've retrieved it. And that has now come to mean I have, right? That I have got something. When you say I have got, I mean, literally what you're saying is that you have acquired something. But it's a bit strange to say I've got, I don't know, I have acquired a house, when what you mean is you have a house. I have acquired a dog, when you mean I have a dog, right? So yeah, of course, grammar changes over time, definitely, if that's what the question is. What are the answers to choose from? I'll show you the answers. I'll show you the answers. You're all getting impatient. Which is understandable. The answers, the possible answers here. Let's have a look. Indicated, highlighted, pinpointed, and looked up. Oh, it keeps sort of editing the things. Anyway, the words there. Indicated, highlighted, pinpointed, looked up. Right? So, I have been back to the doctor 3 times, and he still hasn't the reason for all the pain I have been suffering recently. To locate something exactly is pinpointed as whatever your name is. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So you go to a doctor, you've got a problem, you're suffering from a lot of pain, and there could be lots of different reasons for it. They could outline a whole host of reasons for why you're feeling pain, right? But in the end, you need to find the root cause of the pain, no? And that would be to pinpoint it, like to get a pin, right, and put it at a point, at an exact point in a map, for example. So that would be exactly what you would want the doctor to do. Well, figuratively, you would want the doctor to find the exact reason, right? So to locate something exactly, absolutely, to pinpoint it. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, he hasn't managed to find that yet. Hasn't managed to locate it exactly. Yeah, very good answer. Okay, I guess let's take a look at another one. We answered that one fairly quickly. So what I want to do here, I'm not going to put the options up straight away. I'm going to give you some time to think about words that you could put in. And let's see. So where's the gap here? Many after many. Here we go. Let's take a look at another gap here. think about the word that we could put in here. And we've got another comment here from this person. My teacher had me listen to an authentic material and paraphrased all the choices, and I got 2 out of 10. Right. Yeah. So you shouldn't have bought so many. Something, presents on this holiday. You shouldn't have bought so many presents on this holiday. You won't have any money left when you go back home. So what kind of a word do we think we need to put in there, first of all? I guess it would be, what would it be? Lavish. There you go. Listen to that. Lavish presents. What a great idea. I wonder if that's one of the options. Does anybody else have any ideas? So we've gone with lavish. And here you have, does anybody else have an idea? Something with the meaning of expensive, says Sarah. Yeah, right, absolutely. I think it will mean something expensive. You won't have any money left. So clearly the problem is that what you have been buying is expensive. So lavish, does that mean expensive? Yeah, I guess so. Marcia Assis says, no idea. Yeah, right. So let's have a look at the options, I guess. And rich presents. Are the presents rich? Do they have money? No. Are they lavish? Are they luxurious and expensive? Yes. Worthy. Worthy does not mean expensive. Exorbitant. We got a great idea there. I think we would say that a price is exorbitant, right? It's completely out of the realms of reality. No? So I don't know that we would say a costly. Costly is not a bad idea, right? Costly is not a bad idea. Costly presents would work, probably. It's not one of the options that we were given here. So I think the best option out of rich, lavish, worthy, and invaluable would be lavish, to explain that they're sort of very pricey. Invaluable means that you can't put a price on something. It's so valuable that it doesn't have a price. So like you might have invaluable knowledge, invaluable experience, which makes you invaluable to your team or to your company. But no. Worthy means you are worthy of something. You deserve it. Yeah. Right, you get a lot of these questions in your class, right? Says Young, right? Yeah, we get a lot of these. Okay. Let's take a look at another one. Let's go for it. Next one. And let's try and think about the possible options, right? So here's the 5th one that we're going to look at. Okay, so I think there could be plenty of ideas that you might have here. It's a long walk tomorrow. We need to, as early as possible. Oh, I'll call you Edward from now on. Hello. Edward. So Israel has said, wake up as early as possible. Yeah, that could be an option. Absolutely. Leave as early as possible. That would work. Set off. Yeah, that's the kind of thing we might see, a phrasal verb. We need to set off as early as possible. All of those would work. All of those would be logical, I think. So let's see the options that we have been given here. And see if any of them are the ideas that you have been given, in the comments. Let's see. Set off sounds good, Edward, says Sarah. Yeah. Well, Set up, set in, set off, set about. Well, if you mean start a journey, as Edward said, yeah, to start a journey is to set off, right? To part towards your destination. Set up is to establish something, right? Or to configure something. Set in. What is to set in? Roman says, I'm late. I'm sorry, I never announce these. These are spur of the moment classes. Hello, Roman. I've made a video for later in the day, and so I'm just doing another live stream today for something to do while I'm uploading my video. So there's a reading video today, by the way. Set in. Set in. Now, set in is a strange one. Who can use set in a sentence? I don't think set in is like to establish. Set up is to establish something. A diamond phrase, says Edward, on the spur of the moment. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So what is set in? Set in is when something perhaps establishes itself, right? Or installs itself, ingrains itself. Let's hear what Edward says here. Winter is setting in, so we need to put on warm clothes. Right, so winter is getting started and beginning to get into its what would we say, like its main yes, it's starting to establish itself. It's starting to take over, right? It's setting in. Yeah. Illness sets in. Yeah, absolutely, Sarah. Yeah, good idea. Yes, I think you can say that. Absolutely. Definitely. Set about. What does it mean to set about doing something? Is that right? You set about doing something? Yeah, I guess so. Anger set in. Very good. Anger set in among the players. Yeah, very good. Anger sort of established itself, right? But anger wouldn't set up. You would set up a school, maybe. You would establish something. You would found something. No? Okay, let's take a look at another one. Let's take a look at another, and we're going to look at your ideas before we look at the possible answers. Sarah says, set about when you are preparing for something. To start. Oh, to start. Right, okay. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what I would give as a definition to set about. So, yeah, prepare yourself to do something. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you set about doing something. Yeah, 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 that sounds good. Okay, number 6. Let's have a look. Another. I'm gonna have to change the title of this, of course, because it's not keyword transformations what we're doing here today. Okay. What do we think here? Sometimes we don't appreciate the pleasures of life, such as a beautiful sky, a cup of coffee with a friend, or seeing a good film at the cinema. Right, this is a collocation. So kind of you know it or you don't. You've heard it or you haven't. And Edward says, the simple pleasures. Do we agree? Could it be something else? What do we think? A beautiful sky, a cup of coffee with a friend, or seeing a good film at the cinema. These are the simple things in life, the small things we say. I think you're right, possibly. Let's have a look at the options. Let's see if there are any other possibilities. Common pleasures? Yeah, sort of everyday things that happen, genuine pleasures. I don't know, I don't know about genuine, right? Ordinary, yeah, that's the kind of thing. We want to say ordinary, common, yeah. But the collocation is what it is. I mean, you could say common, you could say ordinary, I'm sure, but here are the options. It says sheer, simple, normal, or plain. Now, the best option here would be simple. Why? Because that's the collocation. Sheer would mean very much so. No, so the sheer arrogance of the man, right? The outright, plain, yeah, plain can mean obvious. Normal, of course, normal, mundane. And another possibility being suggested here, elementary pleasures. Sort of like the basic pleasures in life. Possibly. But I guess what we want to say is that these events are not very, not exactly amazing, momentous occasions. Now, having a coffee with a friend is a very simple thing that most people can do. A beautiful sky, everyone can look up at it, you know, unless you're in a dungeon. And or you live in England. Anyway. Edward says he's excited. Yeah. All right, well, if you're so excited, let's move on to the next one. Let's have a look. All right. So, number 7. Even though she is 87, her mind is very and she is very aware of everything going on around her. She is very aware of everything going on around her. So how could we describe her mind? Her mind is very agile, is what Amina has said. Very agile? I suppose so. Alert? Yeah, that would work. Active, I think all of those would work, to be honest. Yeah. Another one I think I would say is sharp. You could talk about her having a sharp wit, sharp mind. Lucid, maybe. I don't know. Let's take a look at the options. And Sarah says it's alert as well. Are people looking at the answers, or what the hell's going on here? Right, so let's have a look at the possibilities. Here are your possible options. Alert, lively, demanding, or lifelike. Yeah, alert is the best one there, surely, no? Lively is, full of with a lot of atmosphere and ambience and a lot of activity, a lot of hustle and bustle. Well done, Edward. Sighing with relief. Very good. Yeah, very good. Demanding. No, if something's demanding, it's challenging. It's has high standards. So I don't think that would be right. Her mind is lifelike. That suggests that her mind isn't real, that it imitates life. An imitation of life, as REM sang about. Okay. Let's have a look at another one. Getting pretty good at these. So let's see. Let's see what ideas you have for this next one. Number 8. Yeah. So this is another collocation. Oh, yeah. And this a little bit topical. So a couple of years ago, we saw an example of this. The captain decided to ship, even though he thought there was no real danger of it sinking. This is a collocation, a nautical term. Roman has said abandon, very quick, off the mark there, Roman. The captain decided to abandon ship. Is that what we say? Edward has also said abandon. Good. Any other ideas? I mean, again, this is a collocation. You know it or you don't, really. So, yeah. This happened. What was the name of the Italian cruise ship? Does anybody remember the Italian cruise ship that crashed a few years ago? There was a really good video about that by Internet Historian, which is a great YouTube channel, by the way. He makes a video like every 3 or 4 months, and they're really funny. And even though this was a horrible event, it was a comedy of incompetence, a comedy of errors, I was going to say, because that's the expression, but it was crazy the amount of corners that were cut by this company. I don't remember what company it was. So if anyone can remember that, the Italian cruise ship that crashed, when was it? 2017, 2018? Time flies, doesn't it? Can't remember. Do we need to look at the options here? Let's have a look at the options. Yeah, I think it seems like we're only going to get 2 answers there, and the rest of you, I guess, agree. So abandon, evacuate, desert, evict. Now, obviously, a captain cannot abandon ship, right? They have to be the last one off. So the captain of the Concordia, was it called the Costa Concordia? I think it was the Costa Concordia, the ship that sank. He abandoned ship, and other people were dying and drowning, and he just got away as quick as he can, as quick as he could. And I believe he's in prison now, but perhaps not for as long as he should be. Evacuate. You would want the captain to evacuate the ship, right? To order everyone to get off. That's what the captain should do. Desert. Now, desert is also, well, I don't know if it's still illegal desertion, but certainly it was a serious, serious crime in times of war to desert, right? Desertion was I think punishable by death. Of course it was, yeah. I think even, I don't know about in the Second World War, but I think in the Second World War it was it carried a prison sentence. I could be wrong. The First World War they would kill people for deserting. Israel says, so abandon ship is always with no article. Yeah. So you can say abandon the ship, right? But because it's such a common thing to say, and because we use it as a figurative phrase as well, so we'll use it all the time in business, for example, when an investor pulls out of a deal, we'll say, or something like that, or somebody leaves a group project, we'll say they abandoned ship. You know, they just left everyone else and got out. You know, so it's just it's a very common phrase. Yeah, there would be no article here. Yeah, the Costa Concordia. I think that was its name. No worries, Israel. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Number 9. Right. So, It says, if you continue to debts at this rate, you will have to declare bankruptcy eventually. Alpha says, did my C2 exam on the 13th, waiting for the results. How did it go? Did it go well? Well, good luck for the results. Do you know how long you'll have to wait? They sometimes take a while here in Spain. A couple of weeks at least, I think, roughly. Yeah. So Edward has said incur. Roman has said accumulate. You can certainly accumulate debts. And I think you can incur debt. Run up. I like that one. Yeah, absolutely. You can run up a debt. Yeah, absolutely. Debts can be run up. They can be accumulated. They can be incurred. I think all of those options are good. They're good ideas. But yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the options here. It says save, raise, incur, or default, right? So save, no, you're not going to save debts, right? You save so that you don't get into debt. Raise, you raise money for a good cause, for charity or something like that, or for your favorite YouTube English teacher. And incur, yeah, you incur debts. That's the same as to take on, to acquire, to accumulate, to run up debt. Yeah. Default, you can default on your payment, right, when you don't pay, which is not to be confused with default, right? Okay. When you win, when you do something by default, because it's the obvious option. Yeah, so Sarah's gone with incur, and I've got my dog running around my legs again. There you go. Okay. Anyway, so we've got Ana Beatriz saying she also did it on the 13th. So anxious. Wow, we live in a globalized bubble, don't we? Alpha, I think Alpha, you said you were from Sri Lanka, no? You did it on the 13th. I guess all of them get sent from all over the world back to Cambridge, do they? Or what goes on? I should know, as I work so closely with Cambridge University Press, but as an introvert, I don't ask many questions. Yeah, the answer's incur, absolutely. Okay, we'll take a look at another one here. Another open, close. Okay, number 10. Let's see. There we go. The accidental, The accidental of 4 listed buildings near the city caused a huge outcry, and the manager of the building company was jailed for 3 months. Hello to Amit and Alpha. Yeah, I've got a good memory. You're from Sri Lanka, right? Yeah. We've got Amit here, who's got the Indian flag, so we've got an Indian and a Sri Lankan. So the accidental collapse, says Roman. Well, buildings definitely collapse from time to time. But, I mean, collapse almost sounds accidental, doesn't it? I mean, things don't collapse on purpose, you know? So this is something, I guess, that was done deliberately but by mistake, or something like that. I don't know. What other options could there be here? Can anybody think of any other options? Anything other than collapse? I don't think that would be quite right here. What do you do to buildings to destroy them, to make them collapse? Oh, so Israel has said demolish, right, but the accidental demolish is a verb. So what would be the word we're looking for here? We want a noun, I think, no? So I think you're very close to a possibility here, to a possible correct answer. Explosion. Edward's got it, I think. Demolition, right. Yeah, Israel, very close. Explosion, no. And of course, the accidental explosion of 4 listed buildings. Well, I mean, a company wouldn't blow up buildings. They would implode buildings, right? Because what you do is make the building collapse in on itself. Because if you make it explode, well, that would kill a lot of people. That's reminded me of an episode of The Simpsons when they say, get ready, they're about to demolish a building. They say, get ready for the implosion, and one of the builders says, implosion? And everyone has to run away because they blow the building up. And of course, yes, that's not what you do. Yeah, I think the correct answer would be demolition, possibly. Let's see the options. Destruction would work, I guess, the accidental destruction. So the disruption, no, you can disrupt somebody in class by drawing their attention, distracting them. You can disrupt the class, I guess. You can disrupt a signal, a radio signal, with interference. You can, yeah. What about the other options? Yeah, demolition is clearly the correct option, I think. The injuring, no, you don't injure a building. You injure something that is sentient, no, a human or an animal. You cause an injury, right? And squashing, well, to squash something, you might squash a beetle by accident. You might squash a small insect, an animal, a mollusk of some kind. But it suggests something that can be reduced sort of easily, no? Squash a fruit. In fact, we often call fruit juice squash, right? But yeah. Okay, so pretty well done there today. I've got another video coming out later today. That will come out at some point this afternoon. And it's a reading activity, and I think a pretty good one. Some interesting vocabulary. It's taken from the Objective Proficiency Students book, and it's, I think, a very useful video, the one that's coming out today. I know the reading ones can be a bit dull. And Amina says, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you for watching. The video that's coming out, though, this afternoon, very important, I think. I think we're going to have a look at some important techniques, right? We're going to see some important linguistic traps, common errors that people make, the way the 4 possible answers, because it's part 5, the 4 possible answers in this multiple choice exercise mislead candidates. So I'm going to go, in the video, I go through it quite slowly, quite methodically, and I eliminate the 3 incorrect answers, right? So I go through it by process of elimination, basically. Christina says, grazie, hand to you. And Israel, thanks. Yeah, thanks to all of you who've been watching, and check out my video that's going to come out later this afternoon. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and recommend it to everybody, and help me to turn this into my day job. For God's sake, make it so that I don't have to teach real people in person anymore. I'm joking. I am blessed, and I enjoy my job. Okay, I'll see you in the next one, and thanks all for watching and for contributing. Your comments are very, very welcome. I'll see you in the next one.